Hey gentlemen, good morning. There's something powerful about hearing the truth from the source. In a world full of mixed signals, endless podcasts, and advice from people who aren't even in healthy relationships themselves, it's time to strip away the noise. This isn't about telling you what you want to hear, it's about sharing what you need to hear, directly from men who've lived it, learned from it, and know what really earns their respect, their trust, and yes, their love. If you've ever found yourself asking, why didn't he call back? Or what am I doing wrong? This is for you. These 3 dating insights come straight from the minds of men who aren't playing games, and if you take them seriously, they just might change your entire approach to love. One of the biggest mistakes many women make in dating is confusing attention with intention. A man who flirts, compliments, and sends good morning texts isn't necessarily someone who's building a future with you. Men who are truly interested in something long-term act with clarity. They don't play hot and cold. They don't leave you second-guessing or chasing their energy. Here's the truth from a man's perspective. We know within a short time if we see you as something serious or just a temporary thrill. That doesn't mean we'll say it outright. That's where your discernment comes in. If you're constantly trying to decode his mixed messages, then the message is the confusion. A man with real intentions will move with consistency, not chaos. Stop rewarding potential. Stop waiting for someday. If he's not choosing you, clearly he's choosing someone or something else. Don't waste your glow on someone who can't even offer you a steady flame. Another thing women often underestimate is how much respect matters to a man, not just the romantic kind, but the respect of space, of purpose, and of individuality. Many women think affection or emotional expression is enough. But here's the secret. Men fall deeper for the woman who respects who they are when no one is watching. A man can feel when you're trying to change him, mold him, or fix him. He can feel when you're comparing him to your fantasy version or expecting him to fill the holes of yourself. What earns a man's deepest loyalty is not how much you give, it's how much you understand. Respect his time, his mission, his silence when he's sorting through life. It doesn't mean you take disrespect in return. It means you rise to the level of his growth instead of trying to drag him to yours. Men commit to the woman who lets them be, not the one who constantly needs them to do. That's the energy of real partnership. Next, let's talk about confidence. Not the loud, look at me kind, but the quiet power of knowing your worth without screaming it. Here's what most men won't tell you. Confidence is magnetic when it's rooted in self-respect. We notice when a woman walks into a room and doesn't need validation to feel beautiful. We notice when you're not checking your phone every 2 minutes, waiting on a reply. We notice when you have a life, hobbies, goals, friendships that don't revolve around us. That kind of confidence makes us want to earn your time, not just borrow it. Desperation is easy to spot. So is grace. The most attractive women aren't chasing, they're choosing. They don't settle for breadcrumbs when they can bake the whole damn cake. If you make us the center of your world before we've even proven our place in it, we pull back. But if you let us earn your layers, your presence becomes the prize we chase. Now, let's touch on communication. Not the long paragraph texts or late night we need to talk traps. I'm talking about real, intentional communication, kind that creates clarity, not confusion. Men crave direction more than they admit. We don't always read between the lines, and to be honest, we often don't want to. If you like us, say so without trying to manipulate us into saying it first. If something bothers you, speak up, but do it with calm, not chaos. When a woman can express her needs without blame, we feel safe around her. And when we feel safe, we open up. You don't need to yell to be heard. You just need to speak like someone who trusts her voice. Don't play games. Don't test us. And don't expect us to guess. We're not mind readers, we're men. And the woman who communicates clearly becomes unforgettable. Finally, the truth that matters: most men want to be inspired, not just impressed. The women who leave the deepest mark aren't always the most beautiful, the most educated, or the most successful. They're the ones who bring peace to a man's life. They challenge us to grow, not by nagging or pressuring, but by embodying the very growth they expect. If you want a man who is driven, centered, and emotionally intelligent, be that. If you want loyalty, live in integrity. We don't bond through perfection. We bond through inspiration. The right man doesn't just want a woman who looks good on his arm, he wants one who feels like home to his soul. He wants to feel proud of who he is around you. He wants to become better because of your presence. That's not about being flashy, it's about being real. So if you're still wondering what men really want, here it is: clarity over confusion, respect over control, confidence over chaos, communication over games, and inspiration over ego. The right man doesn't need you to be perfect. He just needs you to be honest, whole, and true to yourself. When you stop dating, there's a moment every woman remembers when she's sitting on the edge of her bed, phone in hand, rereading a text message that didn't say enough. Maybe it was the hey after 3 days of silence, or maybe it was the reply that dodged your deeper question. Whatever it was, it left you unsettled, second-guessing your intuition, wondering if you're asking for too much or feeling too deeply. But here's a truth: most women need to hear you're not asking for too much. you're asking the wrong person. And from a man's perspective, that's where the dating game often begins and ends. As men, we don't always say what we feel, but we almost always show it. A man's consistency is his character. And when we're interested in you, we won't keep you confused. We won't make you feel like you're in competition with every distraction on our phone. We won't give you just enough to keep you hanging on, while never stepping into real commitment. That kind of breadcrumb behavior, that's not confusion. That's clarity hiding behind charm. The uncomfortable truth is that many women stay in almost relationships far longer than they should, hoping they can inspire a man to step up when he never had any intention of rising at all. This is where attention versus intention becomes the first vital lesson. You have to learn to separate the two. Attention is easy, it's flattery, touch, sweet nothings whispered at midnight, and just enough effort to keep the door slightly open. But intention has weight. Intention is found in how a man plans with you, how he includes you in his life, how he brings consistency into the space where others bring chaos. If he disappears for days, dodges serious conversations, or blames being busy every time you ask for more, he's showing you something. He's telling you everything without saying a word. Now, here's what men won't tell you, but you need to know. We respect the woman who respects her own time. We might chase what's easy for a moment, but we value what's rare. A woman who doesn't tolerate being an option. A woman who doesn't need to be begged to walk away when she feels disrespected. That woman, that's the one who lingers in our mind long after the others fade, because she knows her worth. She doesn't teach it through lectures, she demonstrates it through her silence, her boundaries, and her ability to choose herself, even when it hurts. When you don't demand clarity, you invite confusion. When you continue to entertain someone who can't show up fully, you teach them that bare minimum is acceptable. And men notice that. They don't always admit it, but deep down they understand when a woman's standards are negotiable. If a man knows he can disappear and come back with no consequences, you're not dating, you're auditioning. You're hoping he chooses you while he's hoping he never has to. That's the emotional trap too many women fall into. Over-explaining, over-giving, over-waiting, all because you see potential. But potential doesn't build relationships. Do look at what he does, not what he says. Is he calling you consistently? Does he follow through on plans? Is he proud to introduce you to people in his life? Does he ask questions about your dreams, your struggles, your soul? If not, you're not his priority, you're his pastime. And that's not your fault, but it is your responsibility to recognize it and move on. Here's something powerful to remember. A man who's ready will not let you wonder. We don't play with what we value. If we see a future with you, we'll act like it. We'll make time, not excuses. We'll be clear, not clever. We'll show up, not show off. So the next time you're tempted to decipher a vague message or justify being treated like an afterthought, pause. Ask yourself, would a man who really wants me make me feel this unsure? The answer is no. And deep down you already know that. So the challenge isn't about finding a man who won't play games, it's about becoming a woman who doesn't tolerate games. You shift the entire dynamic when you stop waiting for someone to see your value and start living like you already know it. When your presence becomes a privilege, not a given, men step up or step out. And either outcome is a win for you. Don't confuse effort with interest. Don't let chemistry blind you to character. And most of all, don't stay where you have to constantly prove your worth. A real connection won't ask you to shrink, chase, or beg. It will feel like calm, not chaos. You are not hard to love. You are not too much. You are not asking for fairy tales. You're asking for someone to meet you at the level you already show up for yourself. And the moment you stop explaining your standards to someone who doesn't even meet your peace, you create space for the man who will. Because the right man doesn't need to be convinced. He's already certain, and he'll make sure you are. Start showing up for yourself the way you want someone else to show up for you. Stop settling for mixed signals and start demanding clarity. Raise your standards, not your voice. Don't wait for the right man to validate your worth on it now. If this message resonated with you, take a moment today to choose yourself, your peace, your power, your path. Because when you love yourself right, the right love finds you naturally.